Hi everyone, this is Anna Wolff coming from the Kenosha Public Museum to you today. And the museums are temporarily closed, but we will reopen soon, and we hope that you will join us for this great workshop that's happening in the summertime. It's called suminagashi, which is a Japanese word that translates to spilled ink. And what we're gonna do with this ink is actually marble some paper today. So there's two techniques that I have to show you. And the finished product in the workshop that we're gonna do is a set of note cards that you'll be able to take home and use yourself. And it makes this really beautiful kind of pattern on the paper. So it's kind of unpredictable, which is the fun part of art. You know, our favorite guy, Bob Ross, said that there's no mistakes in art, it's just happy accidents. And that's definitely what you get using sumi ink. And this process has been around for thousands of years. And the Japanese, who were masters at this trade, were really considered a master of the uncontrollable, right? Like there's this element of the unexpected with this process, but there's something about controlling your own fine motor skills. So they really were considered these masters of control in this process. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our sumi inks. These are from Japan. They're formulated in Japan. They're water-based, but they will stain your clothes and they might stain my hands in the process, but that's just part of the fun of making artwork. So the thing that we're gonna do, the first step that we're gonna do is we're gonna have to pick our colors. And we're gonna do this technique, which involves brushes first. So we have two brushes, one for each color ink. We're gonna use two inks for this part. And I think, so we're in Wisconsin, let's do green and yellow. So you're gonna get your sumi ink and we're gonna put a couple drops into our tray. We're gonna keep them separately because we don't want them to mix. All right, so this is the process that we're gonna do. And this is why these Japanese masters were considered masters of control, because the ink is gonna sit on top of the water, but anytime you move, the water moves. So we're gonna start with our first color, touch it to the water. You're not gonna see anything dramatic until we build up. And we're just gonna go back and forth, dipping each ink into that same spot. So you can kind of see it, but the ink is floating on top of the water. It's not sinking down, and it's creating these concentric circles. So at this point, let's pull a print. So you can use lots of different things to pull the print. This is a watercolor paper, and it does have some sizing in it. Now, sizing is a material that paper makers add to the paper itself that prevents it from absorbing too much. So ideally, we would want a paper that had no sizing in it, but that's kind of hard to find. So instead, any paper will work. Now this is the tricky part, because if you get air bubbles in there, it's gonna show up on your print, because we really only have one try for this. So I'm going to put one side down on the water first, then let that side go, and then I'll pull it back. So there's our finished print, Packer green and yellow.